Alan Pollock is here with an update on what's going on in mortgage technology. Alan, good to have you and appreciate you dialing in.
Hey, good to be here as always. So lots of good stuff, David. I wasn't able to be here last week due to my visit
I
over at
missed you.
MBA National.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It was an interesting conference. I spoke to a few people, and the thought was it's either the vendor room was really big, and so it looked like
Yeah.
it was emptier than it was. We all know that, right? Not everyone just browses around the expo room.
Yep.
And a lot of people are there for meetings. I went to many buildings and visited some of those buildings in Philly are just absolutely beautiful. David, I went
Spectacular.
into the Freemasonry building, one of the first ones I
Wow.
was in during my visit there. Just an absolutely beautiful building. But anyways, a lot of very good, very positive, productive type of meetings. I felt that the right folks that wanted to be there were there for a reason. I felt there was good attendance. A lot of people were there just for meetings, so they weren't partaking in the conference itself, as we know that happens. But I didn't feel that it was overall a negative feeling. I didn't feel that people thought the market is crashing or they're never going to close another deal or anything like that. I felt like most folks were very positive. So I just wanted to start off with that. If
That's
you
good.
felt different or you felt the same, or you want to share something, reach out to David and I would love to hear your feedback
Yeah.
on that.
We heard there was a lot of resumes being floated around, and a lot of people anticipating or are out of work and looking for work. And that is certainly going on, especially that goes on to every one of these markets where we're in a significant downturn such as we are. So, yeah. But anyway, what did you hear there? What did you hear or that you could share with us today?
A lot of great stuff. One thing in particular is it was the same as what some people felt like they had the same feeling from MBA, from the Digital Mortgage Conference. And some of those thoughts, David, are obviously we know applications are at 27 or 30-year lows, right? They're low. It doesn't mean that people aren't buying homes and we're not closing deals. The volume is lower. We know that the cost of loans are still extremely high. We know that some lenders are losing money, so they're dipping into their reserves, which if you remember years ago, Andy Schell, right? Remember he used to tell people
Oh, yeah.
how to manage the treasure chest for times like this. So for those folks that truly do practice that, you're dipping into the treasure chest, but you're building and pivoting for what's to come, which we all know everything that goes down will come up. And that's my non-professional market view of the industry. We know there's market consolidation, David. Clearly, people are talking about that. And we know efficiencies are still really big. We know folks, they don't want to hire extra people to continue to make things go away. Everyone's looking at automation. Everyone has a lot of vendors. So if you can find one vendor that does everything you need, it may be the top things you need, but not everything, right? So maybe I should revise what I mean when I say everything. Or if you can find you may have a lot of overhead with your vendors. If you can find the right vendors or focus on the ones that will give you the most efficiency moving forward, you need to be focusing on that. And overall, David, that was really the feeling. We got to invest in tech. We got to start getting ready. We don't want, when the market turns around, we don't want to go out and start hiring hundreds of people again. So lenders need to adjust, need to put people in the right seats and to scale. Look at your tech partners, look for the right technology. That's what a lot of the tech companies are focused on. And then obviously retaining existing relationships, a lot of people were talking about. I can tell you, David, walking through the hall, the expo room, I did notice there's a lot of vendors that do a little bit of the same thing, right? So maybe there'll be some more consolidation on the tech side, or maybe there's a different way that folks should be marketing, but there was a number of solutions that looked very similar.
Not the
So
differentiation you
food for
expect.
thought. Data security continues to be a big deal. If you remember, I told you a friend of mine works for the company that took care of the MGM fiasco that happened. So I actually saw him yesterday. We are going to be planning on getting our recording done, hopefully this week.
Good.
He's got some really interesting things. He had to get some approvals, but some really interesting things to share. And he told me some more things that clearly are just so disturbing about the dark web and how information sold. And he said mortgage is obviously big, but credit cards and social security theft and everything is just, you have no idea how bad it is out there. Hey, if any of your kids, anyone listening, want to get into, and they're analytical, they definitely want to get into data forensics. There's just great money there, and there's a crazy amount of opportunities. And AI is still getting in there too. So let's go into a couple other things, David, some news that I noticed around the market. DPA, talking about technology, you can integrate it to your own platform. You can ask your vendors to integrate it. But down payment resources, so DPR is the name of the company. DPA is down payment assistance. They just highlighted 42 Native American homebuyer assistance programs in honor of Native American Heritage Month. Now, this is really a big deal. There's over 2,000 U.S. homebuyer assistance programs. You integrate their
Really?
tech or you use their tech, you can easily get access to this. There are all different ways to structure deals and to help borrowers understand that they can get assistance. So you want to take a look at that. Again, the company is Down Payment Resources, DPR. David, I thought this was very interesting. FinLocker. So they just had a new partnership with a company. They're basically creating a seamless home buyer, or calling it home buyer to homeowner experience. And it's with another solution that they're working with. Let's see if I have the name of that solution here. It's called Milestone. So Milestone's joined forces with FinLocker. And by the way, if you haven't recently seen anything from FinLocker, you can go on the internet. It's actually on LinkedIn. They have a full demo of their platform and they talk about how they can white label it. So just go over to their company page and click on their post and you can see what they've been up to. But hats off to Brian and the folks over there. Definitely some progress forward on things that are definitely well needed. I thought this was interesting. A friend of the program here, David, Tim Anderson, he's a president over at eMortgage division at Evolve Mortgage Solutions.
Yes.
Or services, I should say. He said that ALTA just published their digital closing study and found that the top 5 benefits were decreased closing times, including time saved from signing and reviewing documents in advance. And then he mentioned things like cost savings from digital documents as opposed to paper. We know this, but not enough people are doing it. And some people are doing a hybrid where it's some paper, some digital, and some people are confused. So if you're looking to focus on truly a great experience and retention post-close, consider obviously the full digital experience. That maybe that's an area you want to focus more of your time and effort on. And if anyone wants to talk to Tim Anderson, he's been around for a long time. Feel free to reach out to him. David, get this, talking about AI in mortgage. ChatGPT has had a number of updates. A lot of us use it every day. Some people don't use it in a practical way, right? You may go over, have it type you an email. You may give it a contract. There's a service called Ask Your PDF. You basically upload a PDF and then you can chat with your PDF or chat with GPT and you can ask it all kinds of crazy questions. Get this, they just released what they call GPT images. This is going to blow your mind if you haven't heard about it already. You can take a picture of what's in your refrigerator and you can say, give me a bunch of recipes, and it will upload the picture. You can do it on your phone. It will automatically give you recipes. It'll give you a shopping list. It'll give you all the measurements for your ingredients on what to cook, including if you want it to connect to certain services, like I think it's DoorDash, it'll automatically go and even place items in your cart if there's things you're missing. It's absolutely wild. It's a plugin. And there's other plugins you can go, if you're on the computer, you can do the plugins. If you're on your mobile phone, you can't do the plugin. But you can also upload a picture of an app and you can say, write me the code for this app. And so people are playing with this and there's all kinds of things coming out. So if you haven't tested out GPT images, definitely want to do that. And then David, I said every week I would give something on GPT. So get this. I actually have 2 more quick things. I'll make them brief. It's called AI PRM for ChatGPT, all right? AI PRM. It's hundreds, if not thousands of prompts. It's an entire library. And if you've used GPT, you can just go in and ask it, tell me how to build technology that will allow me to write marketing emails, right? And it'll give you a list, but you have to really create the persona of who GPT needs to be. And you need to create the environment and the guardrails of where you want it to communicate, research, and think. And so that's where prompts come in. So if you haven't looked into prompts on using AI, go check it out. AI PRM. Test out a couple prompts. You'll be blown away. And then the last thing, David, I thought this was really interesting for the folks thinking of ideas, the curation of our brains. This is a startup. Get this. They reimagined the local handyman. The home service industry, first, let me tell you, they think is worth $500 billion. And they created, it's called Honey Homes. They have full staff, full salaried handymen, and you can go and sign up. It's $29.50 for the year, or you can pay about $300 a month, and you get a dedicated handyman that can come to your house. There's no extra charges, and he can do things such as caulking, grouting, patching, touch-ups, hang your TVs, furniture, you name it. All minor electrical and plumbing jobs, all built into the monthly cost. So
and that's
clearly,
$300
someone's
$300 a month.
Cool. Yes, $300 a month.
And no additional cost. Oh my gosh. That is one that I'm going to be checking out.
Yeah, so they've raised like $8
$8
million or so. Yeah, Honey Homes. They're not all over the country yet. They're looking to expand. I believe Texas or Dallas is in one of their areas. If you're looking to partner with a great company, you're looking to learn more.
Yeah,
Honey Homes,
yeah, Alice,
honeyhomes.com.
my favorite one so far is taking a picture on your refrigerator and says, "What can I cook out of a meal
Yeah.
that's in here?" That's the one that gets my attention. I'm going, dang, or create a shopping list. My wife does all of that for the most time, unless she's with the grandkids. Now we have two
Yeah.
grandkids, or soon to have two grandkids, hopefully this week. And so
Congrats. It finally happened.
hasn't. It's supposed to have happened today, so it looks like it's going to happen literally any day.
Right.
It's she's going to be induced tomorrow if it doesn't. But anyway, the point of it is I'm batching it. I love these kind of things. Alice, when you hear that, how does that hit you?
It's funny because my brain goes straight to, okay, how can I use that in mortgage banking, right? What can I take a picture of and have it do something for me? So I'm still working on that. And I was going to ask you, Alan, if you saw a lot of that type of more, I think, OCR technology advancements. Was that something that you saw lenders focusing on, or vendors, to, because you really need that with the AI to extract the information?
And that's a lot of my background, Alice. So it was interesting to see there are so many vendors that are now processing digital or physical documents into digital and processing rules and identifying defects. A lot in the older days, and I'm going back like 2 years, because we all joke that mortgage is like dog years, right? Like 1 year is 7 years. So let's go back 14 years. OCR and rules. It was a lot of, technologies out there. Some international companies have great tech to extract a lot of great data, and they have different ways to do it. And then obviously we have a lot of rules in our industry to identify pre-underwrite rules. What is the true quality of a loan before you spend a lot of time on it? Can you use automated workflow to send the loan based on what you've extracted, exactly like you're asking, Alice, to the right people, right? The most expensive underwriters should be on the harder deals, and the junior folks should be on the easier deals. So anyways, I did notice there were a lot of vendors I've not heard of that are doing this. It seems to be that these folks have found a need, and some of them have some relationships. We'll see that continue. There's a company out there right now, Alice, called Data Squirrel. And there's about 3 or 4 of these, another AI company, datasquirrel.ai. And what you do is you can upload your data. So imagine taking a whole bunch of things about a loan, updating all your data, or your loan portfolio with data points that you've extracted off certain documents. Data Squirrel will automatically build BI screens for you, and you can chat and interact with your data. And you can say, hey, I'd really like to understand my LTV across FICO, where I'm between a $300,000 and $600,000 loan amount. And boom, it just makes the chart for you. This tech, getting data, reading documents, and making it usable, and what AI can do is great. And one thing I'll say, a lot of companies want to use AI. They don't know what to do. How do you truly implement it into your business? And what's the data security around it? The CFPB already put something out about data security. Implementing AI is going to be costly because it has to be done the right way, but the benefit in the long run is going to be huge. Hopefully that answers your question, Alice.
It does. Thank you. Yeah, you covered the OCR piece. And I think that is now gaining a lot of competition. A lot more people are in it. Now we just got to get the same level of seasoning or maturity behind the AI piece.
That's the best way to put it. Yep.
Yeah. When I was looking at what your comment, Alice, the GPT images that you were talking about, Alan, when you can look at a PDF and have the GPT images look at the PDF, and then you can ask questions about what's in there. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes. Yeah, it's a plugin that's inside of ChatGPT. As long as you pay for GPT-4, it's about $20 a month. A lot of people pay. It's called Ask Your PDF, and they have a website that you go to and you upload your PDF. Of course, I put the warning out there, be careful of what you're uploading. And then once it's on their server, you get a unique ID, and you go right into GPT and you say, hey, about this document, paste the ID. I've got a lot of questions about data security, X, Y, and Z. Even legal documents, you can say, am I protected? But remember, when you do, you can easily just ask questions. You want to prompt GPT to be somebody. Like, you are an expert attorney. You're well-versed in creating contracts for the mortgage technology industry. Some prompts, David, are thousands of characters long because you're creating a persona and you're instructing GPT on what to do. And so you'll get a much better response out of GPT of what you're looking for. So if you're interested in knowing more about GPT, by the way, reach out to David or I. Tons and tons of great things out there. And yes, a lot of things is so easy just to test out, but how to implement them into your business becomes something a little more tricky. Alice, I don't know if yet you've done the Ask Alice conversion over, but there's some tools that you can leverage, and you can create your Ask Alice GPT and easily bring that to life.
I want to see the avatar.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that offline, Alan.
There's so
Absolutely.
many. The world of technology is exploding at such an extraordinary rate. It's very exciting. A little scary, but really
David,
exciting.
the other thing I was gonna talk to you about this today. Sorry to interrupt you. I thought you were done.
No.
But I know we use Fireflies as our note taker. So what we're going to be able to do is actually converse and create a chatbot online where people can ask questions or say, hey, was there an episode where we talked about mortgage rates going over 10%? Sorry to freak anyone out, but just using an example. And all of our show notes are now all available to be part of a chatbot or a library or any way we want to sort. Instead of the average way we sort our podcasts, where it's just a giant list by date, imagine being able to say, I'm looking for content about down payment assistance. And boom, it instantly brings up 8 podcasts over the last 10 years that we talked about down payment assistance.
Oh, so we can go, what was Les's prediction for whatever? Pick the topic.
We should, I love it.
That's amazing.
We could talk all day long, and there's so many cool things.
Oh, there's so much.
These are things. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking. Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan, for being here. You want to get a hold of Alan? It's ALLEN at tms-advisors.com. Again, Alan is the COO for our good friends over at Candid. And it's great company. It's another technology you need to check out. Thank you so much, Alan. Appreciate you being here. Have a great rest of your day. You bet.
Thank you.